So I'm going to speak on this chat once, ideally today until some shit gets decided. And then maybe we'll speak on it again. But I wanted to kind of address whatever the fuck happened yesterday. And tell you guys as much as I can about what's going on. But I can't speak on everything because the situation is like very fluid, like extremely fluid. To the point of people, you're going to come in here and ask me like, what's your plan today? Are you on Twitch or YouTube? I don't know. I legit started my stream today and I have no idea what's going to happen. I truly don't. And the reason is because there are a number of conversations that are going on. And once I hear from what's going to happen in all those conversations, then I'll let you guys know. But right now, like, there were conversations last night. I was in some of them, not all of them. There's going to be some probably this morning, and it's still very much in flux. So let me explain how we got here in best detail that I can. I'm going to, for the sake of where we're at, not throw a lot of names out here, not blame specific parties. It's possible at some point in this, all this will come out if this thing kind of continues to escalate. But for now, let me tell you how we got here. So earlier this week, Tom and I were in a meeting with some people, and they basically told us, hey, so as far as Twitch and YouTube this week and going forward, here is the guidance from a legal end. And Tom and I felt like that conversation was a good conversation, that we felt like it was very transparent. We thought that, you know, the other people in that conversation were being truthful and being open with us and understood our position and their position. And we left that conversation, I think, in a good spot of like, okay, it's never going to be, you know, us moving to YouTube is never going to be a perfect situation as far as the league, but kind of netting on the multi-platform thing and how it means for event. We feel like we ended in a decent spot. Tom and I walked out of the conversation. We're like, okay, this is a good spot. And so we planned accordingly that conversation. That was on Tuesday, chat, Tuesday afternoon. So Wednesday passes, Thursday they announce, blah, blah, blah. I got a phone call yesterday. You guys saw me, I was playing Warzone yesterday. I got a phone call at like 2-ish. I'll tell you exactly actually what time I got the phone call. Let me look at my call log. I got a phone call yesterday at 1:53 yesterday. And basically the phone call with this person was, hey, so remember all that stuff that we told you on Tuesday? Well, there's been a pivot. People in leadership, and again, I don't want to say leadership where just yet, that might come out, have decided to change the policy, and the Twitch side of this is not part of the calculus. And I asked why. I was given a reason. The reason to me is something that lacked. How do I say this? The reason that was given to me was not a logical decision. And in fact, from my perspective, I feel like it was an emotional response to what was going on in the community. And I thought that was ridiculous. So I was like, okay, well, let me tell everybody on our side what's going on here. I believe, as far as I know, that other people, aka Optic, in the situation also got a similar phone call. I know Tom will probably speak on it more when he goes live or whatever, but like he was in some of that side of it. I wasn't. I will say for the record that me and Method spoke a couple of times yesterday on this to kind of exchange information. And we'll get to why kind of later on this. Okay, you're asking a lot of questions in the chat. I will say for the sake of this statement, I really don't want to answer any questions until I kind of know what we're doing today. At that point, I'll talk about as much as I can talk about. But I just want to say my piece off the rip because it's complicated. Okay, so that's kind of how we're at right now. And like I said, there isn't really a set decision yet. And I think the most important thing as to kind of what's going to happen next is this is not about us. It's kind of about you guys. Because I think for us, like, we're only here. We're only doing this and doing these streams because you guys tune in and watch. And I think we're frustrated that that's not really kind of the priority in this situation. And I think we understand collectively that as a group, and I say like the whole community, that we got to be kind of together on whatever decision gets made on how to proceed here. So that's kind of where we're at. You guys, I would say one quick question y'all are basically asking in the chat is like, who's to blame here? That's complicated, honestly. I don't. I think it may come out at some point. And it's very frustrating to me because people that I know are and have spoken to in this situation are like stuck in the middle of what I think is some rationale that's not really driven by logic, and it's kind of an emotional thing, and they're just messengers, which really sucks because I think they're going to get blamed in this situation. And I don't think that, like, you know what I mean? I don't think that they're the ones that are kind of getting, you know, the ones that are making the unilateral decision here. They're just kind of stuck. So my hope and my last thing I want to say is while the situation is fluid, my hope is that at some point over the next, the matches start at 3 p.m., the next 5 hours, 4 hours or so, that on the other side of this issue, that they kind of, cooler heads kind of prevail and we get to a spot that's best for the community. Otherwise, I just feel like this thing's going to escalate. And if it escalates, so be it. I'm ready for it on my end. We'll do what we need to do here for you guys. But that's kind of where we're at. So I wanted to not like dance around it this morning. Probably asking like, why am I talking about it? Like, I didn't want to sit here and stream for fucking like 4 hours, 5 hours and not talk about it. I wanted to off the piece, like just say, this is kind of where we're at. We haven't made a decision yet on what we're doing. And I want to tell you how we got here. And yeah, that's where we're at. Cat, it's because